Hello peeps and hello peppers and hello puffins. Yesterday I had such a lovely conversation with someone on YouTube or in YouTube comments. Yes, YouTube comments can help a lot and they should always be kept respectfully. Respectful. Let's keep the grammar reasonably right here as far as that goes. And actually, because a person on YouTube talked about having a picture in their head of a baby bird that just sits in the nest and reads while the other baby birds already fly out. And actually, that reminded me of myself because, let's say, many people in my surroundings always told me when I was younger, go out and see something of the world. But, like, at least before the arrival of the internet, I read a lot. And yeah, since the person had a picture in the head, and I don't know if the person gets the pictures out of the head by drawing, but I do. And actually, they never turn out the exact way as I'm thinking. And now I'm saying too much. Yeah, I purposefully took the honey cup today because it's my understanding that the first settlers of Iceland also had bees and that honey was a trade item for the Vikings. Yeah, and I have an egg cup here because I'm using like tank paint brushes and they sometimes clog up. I don't exactly want to know with what, so sometimes I have to clean the valve here in the front with a needle and that doesn't always work. So especially if I want to create like something fluffy, something watery, like this nest here, I need more liquid. I just have to be mindful to not kind of dip that into the wrong container by accident. Maybe you would even notice by this egg cup and the cup that A, I'm shopping too much at Danish Hygge stores, and B, that I am more German than I used to think I am, because egg cups in themselves are not common in Iceland. Like hard-boiled eggs go on a sandwich or something, but actually I like opening my egg by positioning it into this egg cup and tick, tick, tick. And yeah, okay, these birdies probably have come out of their eggs by doing like tick, tick, tick from the inside. And actually, the conversation with a reading little bird went on like that I am more like a flightless bird because, let's say, I can't keep up a love relation the way society thinks that works. I can't keep up a job the way society thinks that works. But there are so many flightless birds who are adapted to being flightless. Here I tried to sketch a great auk that is, of course, extinct because people were too greedy, like even to collect taxidermies. And no, the little one doesn't usually have such a punk hairdo, but here the paintbrush didn't do what I wanted. But okay, it was sad that the parents took the little ones on the backs. And of course, due to my multiple disabilities, the adult people in my life always were pretty worried what would become of me. And a couple of years ago, this actually brought me and my friends to a book idea. What would happen if a little puffling was hatched without wings? I don't know if I would read it without wings in today's time, because like technically many flighted birds that can't fly, they just lack these bigger feathers. And anyway, the little puffling starts working with what he has and learns to read and learns to, like, when he can't read yet, interpret even the drawings by Leonardo da Vinci. That's why he's called Leo. And Leo builds a flying device. And no, I am actually not scared of AI or someone stealing this idea, because I have enough witnesses that I had this idea in my head, and then, like, as usual, because I can't get ideas out of my head, my friends helped me to sort of bring the idea to paper, but it was never published. But it was so cute that actually, like, a physicist started explaining to me how the flying device could work. And actually, in the flow of the little bird conversation in recent times, also the memory of a children's toy that is like would be translated into English by the shopping store came up. And the shopping store is a small, like, cardboard or presswood storefront where the children can play, buy and sell with miniatures of actual products. And I find it interesting that underneath this shopping store here, it says, "Give yourself the compassion you were never given." I would say I was given reasonable amounts of compassion, and, like, the people were thinking what they could do, like, to carry me on their mental backs. But let's say many people had good intentions and sort of, like, ideas that didn't work in the long run. So I have to be sort of like the little puffin Leo to figure out what would work, to also find mentors who understand me. And yeah, shout out to List Vinslan in downtown Reykjavik. You rock. And now I'm now that I see the cat here, I discovered this little video game on my phone where you have to kind of push virtual boxes around to give the cats something to sit in and to fall into. And I figured out only after many failed attempts that this has a timer. So I have to push the boxes really fast, and sometimes they just don't move or only move in particular ways. And jeepers, that reminded me so much of school, like both elementary, middle, and high. And I didn't get high. Because I always had to do things that were virtually impossible, or only possible in particular ways, within a very narrow time frame. And I even, let's say, ruined tests for other people by crying aloud. I'm sorry, and I hope that those tests didn't mean the world in the bigger picture. But like, in this case, I like, whenever something reminds me of school today, this is a situation where I say I have to give myself the compassion I was never given. I have to work with what is there, and I have to say, okay, I am not content with any of these birdie visuals, but they will develop, because my favorite art teacher, like, let's say, art was my oasis in the dark ocean of high school. He said a painting is a matter of layers. And the layers can always change, and the old layers will always shine through. So actually, he gave me something to think about for life. And I'm grateful for that. And here, in this case, I would actually subscribe to this idea. Thanks for supporting local witches. If this guy is still alive, he was already old back in the day. I hope at some point he will see this video and know he has something right, and he will always have a place in my heart as my favorite teacher, because he mostly taught us that we don't have to be agreeing with everything of the system. We kind of have to work with what we have, but we should find our own ways. And hey, people, I was so proud when I was a teenager who kind of had the feeling that everybody bullied her and nobody liked her and whatever. But then actually in a class project, my artwork was chosen to be entered in a competition. Like, the people who organized the competition then didn't end up choosing it, but my class chose it. And I was like so happy. So everybody who voted for that, thanks for supporting local witches. Witches are basically, according to the oldest understanding, just women who do things differently than society. And often wise women who did something with like natural healing. Or like healing in ways that were not publicly recognized. And actually, like, one of the wishes for a job that I had as a child was a doctor. But of course, I can't be a doctor because I don't have the stamina to like work night shifts and so forth, and then work the day shift right the next day. But actually, the other day I read an article about a woman who has like an array of disabilities and is like as good as blind and as good as deaf. And she still finds her way to be a doctor. For instance, by saying she has to concentrate so hard on listening to people, and that is a plus because she listens more to the patients than some conventional doctors do. So I hope I can also leave a little trace in the world and keep the wheels of the world spinning in a slightly different way. Yeah, by the way, long salmon-colored dresses for me personally are a symbol of revolution. So I wish you a day where you can make your personal revolution. Bye-bye.